Welcome to Balance Body and Beyond. Today we are going to put all our focus and energy into hip opening. It's interesting that one of the places our body stores stress is in our hips. Stores also stress in our lower back, and all of that truly is connected from our hips to our lower back. So by opening our hips, getting some stretch and range of motion and mobility through our hips, it may help relieve back pain, but it also will just help us move better in general. So roll out your mat and let's get started. We're going to begin on our backs today. We're going to do a little warm up utilizing our core muscles. That helps build some energy, and then we'll get more into the hip opening as we get looser. But this will be a shorter practice. Keep that in mind. As you lay out onto your mat, we're going to stretch our arms overhead. Just take a moment here to stretch, to blow off any stress, any worries. And now we'll bring our arms alongside our body. Begin inhaling and exhaling through your nostrils. It is beginning to rain a little bit, so I don't know how long I'm gonna last out here, but we'll find out. We're gonna walk our feet in towards our hips. And we're going to begin with some bridge work, lifting our hips up to warm our bodies, open through the front of the body. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, lower down. One more like this. And we're going to get into the hips early on by placing our feet onto the outer edge of our mat. So our feet are wide. And now we're going to lift our hips again in this wide position. And we're going to lower the hips halfway and back up. Now what you might experience is a sensation of the knees kind of wobbling in and out. So give your butt cheeks a big squeeze as those hips go up and down, and continue to push off the back of your shoulder. Good, so little pulses up and down, getting right into the hips here. We'll lower the hips down, straighten your legs, and pick up your right leg for a hamstring stretch. Lift your shoulders. Now, if this becomes too fatiguing, you can let your shoulders rest down, but we're going to scissor the legs. Good. You can point and flex the feet. Little core warm up here, getting some leg separation. Moving the legs independently. You might need to bend your knees a little bit to reduce some of the resistance. Bring both legs up, let your head drop. Good. And then we're going to straddle the legs. So open the legs, and then as you come back up, cross the legs, maybe at the ankles, maybe at the shin. Now as you open and cross again, bring the other leg in front. So open and close. Open and close. All right, so this is the beginning of our hip opening practice. Can you lower the legs a little closer to the floor? And when you do that, you'll feel how much more core integration happens, right? Because those legs are closer, core has to engage more. But if it's too much, you bring the legs back over the body. We have a few more. Bring the legs together up over the body, and we are setting bridge one more time with our feet on the floor, hip width distance apart. Elevate your hips for your bridge. Now, toe heel your feet close together. So with the feet touching and the knees touching, you're going to drop one leg off to the side, hip opener, and then close and switch. Every time you pull the leg in, squeeze the knees together. So you should feel your ankles touching, the knees squeeze together, and then drop the leg. And we want to keep the belly button pointing to the ceiling, right? Or pointing straight up. Maybe right into the rain clouds. One more. And hold. Hips lower down. Let's come into a seated position and we'll take ourselves into a straddle. And with this straddle, arms are going to go wide and we're going to twist, reaching for the inside of your foot. Come back up and switch. Yeah. Pull your chest over the leg. Flex your feet. Last twist. And up we go. We're going to keep the feet wide, lean back, and dig your heels into the mat. We're going to go side to side with the legs. So this is a baseline, side to side. Now, if you can, you're going to pick your hands up off the mat and go side to side, but then add a big twist looking over your shoulder. Good, side to side. Now what happens is you'll feel like you start rutching off the mat. Rutching, have you heard that word before? It's very Lancaster County. Side to side. Look at me, I'm traveling off my mat. You probably don't see my feet here soon. All right, that's good, or else I'll disappear. We're gonna roll now to the front of the body. And we're going to take our feet wide as we do some hip rocks. We will get to frog pose towards the end of our practice, but we'll start with the knees a little wider and just rock the hips. You can tuck your toes under a little bit. You can point the feet. Good. We're going to set tabletop and we're going to do some hip cars. So this is a hip mobility drill. You're going to pick up your left knee and then lift to the side like there was a fire hydrant next to you. Then you swing behind you and drop in. So you draw the leg away from you. Then lift up as you rotate and come back down. Imagine your hips are in a vise, so you can't roll the hips side to side. All this movement is coming from the ball and socket joint of the hip. Now reverse directions. So pull the leg away from the body, rotate, and then draw inward. So lift and then draw inward. Two more. You could do this exercise standing as well. Let's switch to the other side. Draw the leg away. So for all my folks who cannot kneel or work from their palms, you just come to your feet and you can do this drill, like I said, from a standing position. I hope you all are learning that along the way with my other videos, how to tailor the practice to meet the needs of your body, change directions, because yoga can be done with everybody. Right, regardless of your limitations. My prerequisite for yoga is if you can breathe, you can do yoga, and I will help you find the way. One more like this. And then bring both knees down. Come on up. Big stretch. Let's just roll the wrists. Thank you, wrists. And then change directions. Awesome, awesome. We're going to slide our left foot off to the side, pointing your toe outward. Drop the palms again, and then we're going to make a little circle here. Working through the ball and socket joint of the hip. And then change directions. right? We're lubricating the joints through all these circles, the hip cars they're called, what we just did last. Lubricating that ball and socket joint. Awesome. And now just rock back. Just rock back. See how far back you can push your hips while keeping this sole left foot flat and toes pointing outward. Try that then on the other side. So now my right toes are pointing out to the side, and we'll start with circles. And change directions. And now just press your hips back. See how far back you can press your hips without dislocating anything. Excellent. Both knees down. Let's lengthen out our spine again. So let's wrap our right hand around our left wrist. Lift up, take a side stretch. And then switch. Wrap your hand around the other wrist, lift the arm up and take a side stretch. This is one of my favorite ways to do a side bend. I just love that feeling of pulling my arm up and out. All right, excellent. Now let's extend the left leg long, right? Opening up the hip, let that foot slide out as far as you can. Press your hips back, drop your elbows down, and now maybe walk both arms a little closer to that long leg. And you'll get a nice stretch. If it's too much, lean a little forward. You can tuck the ball of your right foot underneath, or you keep your toe pointed. But just a real big stretch through the inside of the leg. Good. We're going to thread the needle a little bit while we're here, just to work through our spine. So lifting up and then threading the needle under the body. You can drop the right elbow down as you do that and make it a little push-up. Good. Up and hold. And let's try this on the other side. Leg out. And then push your hips back. See how that feels. Walk your hands closer to the right leg. Again, I like to tuck my toes under on this. It just feels better on my knee. But again, when I say how I experience it, isn't always going to match how you experience it. And that would be normal, right? We don't always get experience the things the same way. Let's prepare to thread the needle. So our palms are on the mat. Lift your right arm up if your right leg is out. And rotate. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Turn your head. Follow your moving arm. Up and hold. And both hands down. We are going to prepare for frog pose, which is one of the deeper stretches we can do to open our hips. So we're going to turn to the side of our mat, side face the mat, and you're going to take your knees out wide. Now, once those knees go wide, you want your ankles to be right behind your knees. Good. So you don't want this angle. You don't want your heel tucked in close to your hips. So there's one straight line from your knee to your ankle and knee to ankle. Drop to your forearms and then lower your hips. You don't want the hips to sag or drop super low. And then you can play with the hips rocking back or the hips coming forward. So find where your spot is. Yep. And we're just going to try to stay here. Another neat hack while you're staying there, you don't have to do this with me. If you need some cushioning, you can add some cushioning under your leg. I'm going to fold a little bit more so I don't get cut out of view. And if you're on a floor that's slippery, if you had a towel, you could put a towel under this leg, and with a towel, you would kind of just slide out, and that might then also give you a better experience in frog pose. So a towel under the knees to help let that leg slide out. You could do it with both legs, but I wouldn't want you to move into the splits accidentally either, so be mindful to that. Awesome. All right, so let's pull ourselves back up. Ooh, how do those hips feel now? We're gonna come to our feet. Shake out. You feel a little looser through the hips. Arms are gonna come up. We're just gonna do a big circle here. Yep, working our way into some plie squats. Open and hold, and then take your feet as wide as you comfortably can, turning the toes out. And now this is a hip opening plie squat. Inhale, you can bring your arms overhead. Exhale, knees out wide, dropping into the hips. We're going to stay in this plie squat just to stay with our hips open and take our fingers to our temples. Do just a little bit of core work here before we conclude our practice. Good. Chest up. Squeeze your shoulders together, moving side to side. Ooh, one more on each side. Might be feeling that quite a bit in your legs. That's a good thing. And then straighten up. Big stretch. Down you go. Toe heel your feet in. And give yourself a pat on the back. That's all I got for you. How about that? So that was just a really nice, brief round of hip opening exercises. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give me feedback, give me comments, and share the channel, please, so we can keep growing. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time on Balance, Body, and Beyond. Thank you.